Om Shanti. We will start our meditation at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. So just take a moment to relax, settle in. Say Om Shanti as you begin, reminding yourself that you are a peaceful being. Om Shanti. Hello to Bob and Diane. Thanks for joining in this meditation. Just relax. Your day is over finally. So let your mind come to rest as well. Really, let your mind come to rest. Be present. Just settle down. Maybe you take a few deep cleansing breaths. Number one fan, Enid, is on. Simply relaxing Enid, right? Om Shanti to you. Look at all that busyness, right? The world is still going. But I've made this time for me. And so right now I'm going to focus on being present, letting the chatter of the mind go, really letting the chatter of the mind go, and just being present and still. Just like that. I'm not afraid of silence. In fact, I find here in this quiet, silent space that there's healing energy. It's here that I take refuge. And it's okay to have long moments of pause and to just be still. It's here that I recharge. And so right now I recharge the battery of my soul. I recharge, I plug in, just letting the events of today go. Letting my thoughts go. I'm thinking about silence. Tonight we'll talk about silence. And so right now I experience silence, even silence of the body. No itches, no aches, no distractions. So wherever I'm at, I want to sit comfortably. I want to settle in, just settle down. Chelsea dealt with her child all day, so it's my time, right, Chelsea? It's my time to relax. It's okay, and I don't have to feel guilty about that. So just breathe in and let it all go. It's okay. It's okay to let it go. And it's okay to experience silence. It's funny how I think about the world as reflective of me, whatever state I'm in. But right now I am at peace. That's why I joined this meditation. And yet the world continues to move. Look at all those cars, hustle, bustle, going, busyness. And silence is the opposite. But I have to make time for that. So right now I step into this silent space, really step in, and I experience and think about silence. Silence is something that's not unfamiliar to me as much as it is forgotten. Where did I come from when I was born? I know that the soul is living, a living energy. And if I can't grasp that energy, I'll think about the sperm and the egg, the physicality of birth. And even the sperm and the egg are silent, true? Very silent. And this is where I came from. Not a whole lot of thinking, not a whole lot of doing. And then I took birth, innocently. Even as I was passing through the birth canal, there was silence for me in this body, in this form. True? Say it. I am familiar with silence, but I've become unfamiliar with silence, and it's time to go back. I know what the world is like out there, fast, moving, non-stop, birth, death, untimely death for some, chatter, noise, to-do list, politics, but in silence, now I see why they say silence is golden. So I have to become familiar once again with silence. I have to think it's okay to turn it all off. I have to be able to drive in my car once again without putting the radio on. Silence is very far away now. I think about when I shower. Do I hear the water pouring from the faucet? Do I know what the water sounds like as it's rolling down my body and hitting the floor? Silence is so unfamiliar. I wake up, I shower, and I'm thinking about all I have to do. Thinking about the time, possibly, or perhaps how I'm running late. But silence is where I take refuge. Silence is where I settle in and I just listen. I'm comfortable. I become comfortable in this space. I know it's true that I need to tune out all that's going on. It's gotta stop. Because when the news is off and the TV's off, even when I go to bed, what is the mind doing? It's blitzing me. It's not allowing me to be in a silent state. And then I wake up and it's blitzing me again. And so this is my practice. I, the soul, that peaceful soul, I think about where I come from. Sweet silence home. Before I took birth, where was I? I was in the supreme abode. Maybe I haven't heard that before. I was in blissful silence, becoming and doing nothing, just experiencing peace and silence. And so again, I remind myself, silence is something that is not unfamiliar to me. And I encourage myself to go to that state more often. It's funny how there's so many opinions today. So much I can read, so much I can hear. And yet when I go deep within, and when I turn off my thinking and my slant, right, because we're leaning left or we're leaning right, and when I turn that off and I find refuge and I go within and I experience silence, it's quite fascinating how truth reveals herself. So tonight I encourage myself to go within much more often and see what speaks to me. without influence. This is what truth is. That's the hidden gem in silence. And then there's other benefits of sitting in silence. The body dies a living death. The mind turns off. There's no problems. There are no worries. There are no aches and pains. I return to that natural state of bliss. I heal in this secret space of silence. And then I know as I go out, whether I'm walking or driving, like everybody else, still going out there, never, ever stopping. But when I join them out there, and as I experience silence more often, I become powerful. Not an opinion, not to go out there and share my opinion or my point of view and posting all over social media, but I become powerful because I am steady and stable, and my vibration begins to heal others. What a gift. What a gift that I can not only walk out there and be unaffected, but that I can give, and that I can love and accept you for who you are and for your opinion. I watch as a detached observer. I watch the role that you play because I come from silence. And then I learn not to judge. I just detach and watch the role that everyone else plays, and I make sure that I'm giving peaceful vibrations. What does the world need? What does the world need? What is the world? Is the world China or Russia or America or the Houthi rebels? Think about all those titles. The world is made up of us. And the world needs me. The world needs me to stay in silence so that I can be powerful and give peace and love and stop judging and stop comparing. And finally, perhaps, step away from my ego that says I'm right and you're wrong. And when I go into silence more often, I recognize how often I've been wrong. And when I go into silence, I do experience quietness that I'm no longer afraid of. I don't need to think. I don't need the onslaught of words. I need silence to heal so that I can help my brothers and sisters. Busy. I've been too busy. So I step back right now, like I'm doing now. I step back. I know it's going way too quickly. I know too many have experienced untimely death. I know that I will not be here forever. And while I will not be here forever, I'm not the one that's going to be on stage or making a famous speech or being the principal of the school. But I know that because of my practice and experience with silence, that I give in a very incognito way, and there's nothing more powerful and more special than that. I need this as well. Already 2021 is just about 1 month down, just like that, once again. And the more things change, the more they stay the same, except for me. And so in 2021, even though the new year is over, I really vow to change by becoming silent, less opinionated, and powerful in an incognito way. And if I'm not quite ready to do this for others, I do this for me. Imagine being at ease because every day I go into silence, even if it's for 5 minutes, just sitting, recognizing my highest potential. How would my family feel when mom is more calm, when dad is more stable, when the kids always trying to argue? I no longer argue back. I just give through vibration. I use my third eye to look at those children in the eyes, third eye to third eye, and just empower them. I trust that their journey will be okay, just like mine was. And I wish this for the world as well. Politics is draining. And even though there's a new presidency, there's still the same whirlwind of thought and opinion. And that's because I'm allowing that. No more. 2021 is about me being me. And who am I? That peaceful soul who came from silence. I came from silence, and so I'm going back there. But I want to do this every day. I want to make a promise tonight. Really. I don't want to wait till next Thursday to tune in. So I commit now. I commit right now. Every day at what time? So tell yourself, what time every day do I have 20 minutes? Think about that. Same time every day. Is it after dinner or after work? Is it 7 p.m.? Maybe 2 hours before bed? Every day at what time can I just sit for 20 minutes? And I'll let my family know. And everybody has a candle at home. I know we do. And so every day at the time that I just devoted to, I'll light that candle and I'll just sit quietly in silence. And it'll be a nice practice. I'll see that I'm sitting and suddenly I'll hear all those thoughts, that popcorn factory up there. But as I do this every day, I can let those thoughts go. I start to control them, they become fewer, and then I let the universe speak to me. And this is where my power comes from. And as I'm sitting in silence, I remember there is the rush out there, everywhere. Everywhere there's that rush out there, non-stop. I no longer tie into that. I sit, I look at my candle, and I think about virtues when I'm in silence. A, I have awareness. B, I bring benefit to others. C, I'm a charitable soul. D, I'm determined. E, etc. And maybe I'll start to excel through my determination, etc. And this is what I do. It's time to take a high jump. Silence is that base, that root. Silence allows me to silence the mind and become aware of who I am and strip the facade of name, of title, of judgment. And as I strip all those things away, what's left? A soul who is peaceful, loving, blissful. And then when I come out of silence, I am still that peaceful, loving, blissful, and gentle soul. It's time to give the world a gentle touch. But I remember how powerful that is. And so now I've set the time. Repeat that. Now I've set the time. This isn't just something I'm saying. In fact, I see that spot in my house. I know where it is. Some of us, like Juanita, have an altar. In fact, she's going to light multiple candles. But it will be a devoted, dedicated practice, just 20 minutes. And I'll do this over the next 7 days. And as I do it, that power grows. My desire to be in silence more often grows. The secrets that are revealed to me start flooding. Before silence, I had a blitz of the mind, too much. Once I go into silence, I become flooded with truth, with spirituality, with the recognition of who I am. And Cousin Eileen, with all your cooking and everything you do for others, it's time for you to do this for you. Light that candle. Sit comfortably and quietly. I'm afraid we really don't know what silence is. Some of us think that when this thing stops, when that mouth shuts, that there's silence. You know better. You know that when the mouth shuts, the mind gets louder. But I'm going to practice now. I'm going to practice shutting my lips, quieting the mind, and what bliss I can experience. And then I step out and I feed the world through my vibration. And Brother Yule, you've been doing this for quite a while. Just go a little bit deeper. My cousin Maureen, you are incognito. I know how you give from a distance, like your mother Mary. I remember Aunt Mary healing others. They would come to see her, and while she was sick in bed, and they would leave feeling great. So you have that special gift. Don't forget it. All right, and as we close now, I've said a lot, so let's have silence together, just for about 60 seconds, which will feel long. But really go deep into your silent state. See yourself as a soul. Connect with light. And see the word heal. H-E-A-L. Let's do that for the next 60 seconds. And as we tie into the vibrations of healing, our world will be healed. So please join me. 60 seconds. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Say that Om Shanti. Thank you for joining. Have a beautiful night. Don't forget about the time you dedicated each day. And commit to that.